to take flying lessons. And she would fly here, fly there. In 1932, she was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. In 35, she joined the faculty of Purdue University as a visiting member, counseling women on careers having to do with the Department of Aeronautics. There's a lady who I thought was going to be here tonight. She's a member of the Pompano Beach Republican Club who went to Purdue, and she lived in the Amelia Earhart Hall. She told me that at a fundraiser for somebody else. In 1937, of course, she was lost as they were trying to not circumnavigate, fly around the world in what would have been not the first time, but probably the longest flight around the world because of the route they were taking. They felt the plane probably ditched somewhere in the Pacific, never been found, lots of theories, including the possibility that they ditched onto an island held by the Japanese, and of course the war hadn't started, but the things that led to World War II were already in place, and a great many of animosities existed. So you never know what could have happened. No, it was one of those mysteries. But January 11th specifically is Amelia Earhart Day for her solo flight from California to Hawaii, and she's obviously been a role model for women and girls for all these years, and that's January. June has to do with the first woman elected to Congress, but I'll leave that one for June.
Thank you. We're actually going to try to talk about somebody different every single month this year. Our next two meetings, I think, are going to be very interesting. And actually, Anna's one of our strong women. Anna's the first vice president of our state federated, which is, we're really extremely happy to have somebody from our group at that high of an office within federated. But next month, we're going to discover why we're Republicans, because I think a lot of us haven't really thought through what are our core values. What is it that I believe in that makes me more Republican than Democrat? So we're going to actually do a workshop where you will leave with a 30-second elevator speech that says, this is why I'm a Republican, so that when somebody asks you, you have an answer. And then we're going to follow that in March by another very strong woman. And one of my most recent, most favorite people, Danita Kilcullen, is going to talk on what it's like to be a woman and be an activist, because a lot of us have kind of a negative connotation of activists. And when I met Danita, I said, this is what I want to be. You know, I want to be able to stand up for what I believe in, but I don't want people hating me because I'm doing it. And she's the most likable activist. During the whole big thing with Calypso Project, and found out how really strong she is, because how much she stood up for that. And this whole thing tonight is to help her raise money because we want her elected again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Roseann.
Well, that's a hard act to follow, Amelia Earhart, I must say. But you know, I guess I'll start with number one, saying thank you, but also just sharing a quick few minutes about where I was 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, I was a totally different person. If someone had said to me, I'm a strong woman, I would have sort of backed off and said, no, that's not me. And I took the word strong as sort of being something negative. But today when someone says that to me, I take it in a very positive way. And I'm very proud to say that I'm strong.